I saw my next guest speak and turn doubters into believers. He was brave. Maybe he learned that kind of fearlessness as an Army Ranger serving the United States of America. Now he wants to serve us, and he is running for mayor of Terre Haute, Indiana. Tonight we will talk about what feeds his belly, but mostly what feeds his soul. The 2023 Democratic candidate for mayor, Mr. Brandon Sakbun.
Wow, what an introduction.
Hey, what an introduction. Not bad. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
And I meant that. I literally have seen you come into rooms and people who were undecided, people who really didn't know what to think, people who maybe thought he's so young, they believed. And that is soul moving. Can you talk a little bit about just that part?
Yeah, no, absolutely. The last 5 years of my life has been very challenging. Mm-hmm. As an Army Ranger with 2 combat deployments, as well as battling in education, I was a master's student as well, kind of packaging all this together. How do you be you?
Right.
You know, I'm back-to-back deployments in front of other government organizations, with other nations, with other units, tier 1 units. How do you find time to be yourself?
I don't know.
And for me, it's just be that guy, be that energetic person in the room, because you don't know what all these folks that I've interacted with are going through.
That's right. And I think that is the key. And I really think that that's kind of where you're connecting with a lot of people is, you know, when you walk into a room, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people's situations are. But to be able to look every single person in that room in the eye and make them feel the exact same way, I have to say that is a gift.
Well, and it's really taught, my undergraduate education at Kelley School of Business, they kind of hit the surface level there, but when you're in foreign politics at the strategic level with other nations all across the world, you learn that there's a universal language. Food is part of it. Can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah.
Just taking a second. That tactical pause. We do it in business all the time. We pause for a second, review budgets, review plans, and in life sometimes you got to take a tactical pause and listen.
Absolutely, and you know that's kind of what we want to talk about tonight. Matters of the heart. And here we love food, as you said.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a food truck owner, but also just at the root of my love for food is family and the experiences that I had growing up. What are the earliest memories you have of sitting at the table for a great meal?
Well, 4-year-old me did not like spaghetti. In fact, I would take it and just put it on my head. I remember I love spaghetti now, right?
Okay.
But I remember as a kid just grabbing it, throwing it on my head. My dad would always yell at me, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But I remember the experience of the family being there, my friends being there, my sisters being there, my older brother being there, of course, my lovely parents, Dr. Sakbun and Mrs. Carleen Sakbun. But what I really remembered too was just the different types of food. My mom's from Jamaica, my dad's from Cambodia.
That is good eating.
Oh my gosh, you thought it was an international market in that house.
Right.
And that's what's amazing, and I kind of touched on it earlier, but food brings us together.
It's
a universal language. I remember the first time some of my friends tried something as crazy as goat curry or jerk chicken.
Delicious.
Just like they tried pad thai, Vietnamese pho, and all these different dishes that come together.
Yeah.
And it's great because you see folks who maybe want to try that, give it a go.
Absolutely.
Right.
And what of those dishes, what is the meal that sticks out in your head as like, when this meal's on the table, it's over. It's my favorite.
Well, I've got 2.
Okay.
It's a tie. Hard to choose here. Number 1, rice and beans with that goat curry.
Yes.
That good spice.
You're making my stomach?
With the side of that jerk chicken.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it's got a kick to it like none other. That Caribbean feel.
Yeah.
And then the second food that it's tied is Vietnamese pho. Just that broth, the herbs, the blend.
Listen, I have a sister, my sister-in-law she's who introduced me to pho. And It's an amazing dish. One thing that really resonated with me, a lot of people, if you don't know this about Brandon, there is a thick cultural background in your family. As he mentioned, his mother is from Jamaica, and then your dad has more of an Asian background, which is, to me, two of the best places to get food. But on a deeper level, how much did the simplicity of sitting at the table and bringing those cultures together, excuse me, bringing even their two backgrounds to make one family? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, as you mentioned, Asia, Jamaica, kind of opposite ends of the world,
Yeah.
different lifestyles, different cultures, and getting to experience that here in Terre Haute, Indiana, created an amazing unique blend.
Right.
Right? The Midwest is the South, it's not the coast, but it's kind of got a blend of its own.
Yes, it does.
So what is the appeal of a family? What is the appeal of being together and loving each other? And it's amazing because I've been stationed all across the world, whether it's Qatar, quick stops, Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, all over Europe, California, Georgia multiple times, West Virginia, Texas, all these different states and countries. And you see the universal language of love and food.
Yes.
And it's bringing people together. And I keep reinforcing it because nothing is more family oriented to me than that Thanksgiving meal. My siblings, significant others are there. My family's there. And you just see this kind of cultural mix come together. And yet people maybe wouldn't have tried this. And just you get the feedback, I like it, I don't like it. But it's bringing people together.
Yes,
that's what food's about.
You're hitting the nail because even in my business, I have met people I probably would have never met, or maybe even thought that they wouldn't accept me or like me or want me around, or maybe they thought I wouldn't accept them. But food brought us into the same space, and we realized we're all humans. And at the end of the day, I believe we're all having this very human experience. Absolutely. Ups, downs, sadness, love, sorrow. Your experience in life, not just experiencing different cultures, being raised in the Midwest, which is a unique experience all on its own, but also being a soldier and being deployed. I know there have had to be tremendous lows.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what keeps you going and what motivates you in the very low times?
So, as a young man, I've probably had more stressful experiences than I'd like to admit sometimes. Young men in the military do a bad job of letting that guard down, letting some of those emotions come out. And that's not just the military. I'd go as far as to say that's kind of nationwide right now. We've got a bad problem kind of putting that guard up, right? Male bench press, right? Sometimes you just have to take that tactical pause and breathe. And what do you think about when you're at your lowest moment? When everything's gone wrong, people are in your ear screaming, what you thought with the plan that you planned for the objective is all wrong.
Out the window.
You're the leader. You have to make that decision. These are life or death decisions. What's going through your mind? Well, part of you sequentially look at the problem, you're analyzing. But for me, it's my siblings. In the lowest of the low, I honestly think about my siblings.
Wow.
Haley Sakbun, my youngest sister. I always joke the Batman and Robin combo. She's 8 years younger than me.
Wow.
I remember being in cheer competitions and people are like, "You her dad?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "What?"
My daughters have experienced that with their brother.
And I love my younger sister because growing up with her by my side. Then you have Axel Sakbun, just a phenomenal swimmer and athlete, but just such a kind heart.
Yeah.
Just takes right after her mother, Carlene Sakbun. So many people know Carlene in the community. My mom is just amazing.
Yeah.
That kind heart. And you see that in Axel, how she interacts with folks.
Yes.
How she interacts with people. And then my brother, 16 months older than me, Marine officer, national champion boxer in college. I always say that he is shorter than me, but love him to death. I mean, and the experiences that we had growing up, being together in a household where both parents were working, and that kind of bond that we have. I mean, we talk every day.
Yeah, I can relate to that so much because some of the closest people in my life are my two siblings. We were each other's best friends, and then we had a bonus brother as well. My cousin Patrick was our brother, and and so I can relate to that. And I was thinking as you were talking how much, and even your family's actually been in my life a long time because your dad delivered all of my children.
Oh, hey, you get that a lot nowadays.
And
Yeah,
there's a whole society in Terre Haute that your dad helped bring into this world. So we've got our onions in, and we've got our collard greens, and we actually have been cooking the meat for a few hours. You want that to get really tender. Now, I use pork, Brandon.
Oh,
but,
yeah. Oh, yeah. What's good?
But everybody does not use pork. You could use smoked turkey. There's other things that you can use to put as your meat in your greens. And once you get these to a nice boil, you're going to start seeing a color change. Of course, prior to putting the greens into your pot and getting all your seasonings in, you want to thoroughly clean the greens. Now, I want to talk to you guys just a minute about cleaning the greens because it will change the taste if the greens are not cleaned properly. Absolutely.
So what we were doing earlier, that was a thorough clean, right? Because you had me running that through.
That was a thorough.
Times,
you gotta have. We're gonna start right. We're gonna start with that. So we're gonna do a rinse. We're gonna do another rinse. We're gonna do a salt wash. All of that, Brandon, you can't skip over it. And all that seasoning that went in there, all that is necessary. Now, you guys, you might not see everything me and Brandon did before the shot, but in the comments and in the description, you will have the recipe to my collard greens. I can't give y'all all the secrets. And you're sworn to secrecy.
What? We were quiet, so I can't tell.
No, you can't. Don't give it to your mom.
It is 10 out of 10. That's how much
anybody else, okay? Shannon's collard greens cannot be shared, okay? World, but how, not to get too political, but all those experiences and the cultural blend and just being in a home that in itself is a blend.
Yeah.
But then also being a community person that has blended into all these different spaces and athletics and serving our country. What about that makes Brandon Sakbun a person that can serve the city?
Well, I really, think of it this way. You want to inspire others. You want to believe in yourself, but more importantly, you want to believe in the community. In Terre Haute, that you can have a livable wage, that your kids, your grandkids can work here. And it hurts my soul sometimes seeing all the talent that we have in our school corporation, our universities. They're coaching teams in other cities. They're leading companies in other cities, and they're moving. And you want to believe that Terre Haute will be a premier Class 2 city.
Yes.
Right. But how do you do that? Politics is divisive. You say politics nowadays, some people they shut down and say, I don't want to.
Yes, and that's understandable.
And it is in the national climate, at times the local climate, the state climate. But I really think of it this way. When we were in the special operations, we had, doesn't matter who the president is, we have to do a job that our nation asks us to do.
That's right.
And we used to kind of have me and a couple of my friends there, it's like, hey, politics should bring people together. We need to find the commonality amongst everyone in a group. What's a common theme that we can all believe in? Is that Terre Haute can grow again. That Terre Haute can be that premier Class 2 city again. With the city's best asset, its people.
Yes.
It's an inspiring message. It's inspiring thought. It's forward thinking. It's vision, economic development, all these different pieces. At the end of the day, it's really belief in ourselves.
Belief in ourselves.
Right? Belief in people.
Yes. And I think that at the core, my belief system is that no matter what backgrounds we come from, even no matter what political affiliations we have, we are human and we all want to live the best life we can.
Absolutely.
I want to leave the people with, is there any quote or mantra that you use to stay motivated? Is there something that when you get up in the morning, you can give to the people and say, this is what makes me keep going through the negativity?
Yeah. Absolutely, and I do think a lot about the Ranger Creed, and it's something that we live by, and part of it's tattooed on my body, but 100% and then some. That's the type of tenacious effort that we give.
100%.
100% and then some. And I enjoy being a public school substitute teacher, right? Giving all the energy I have in the class. You are only getting kids for a day, right? For some of them an hour or less than that, 45 minutes.
Yes.
You don't know if they went to sleep hungry or not.
Right.
You don't know why they showed up late to school.
Right.
What practices they have. What their mom or dad said to them, if they have a mom or dad. But for 45 minutes, you can be an energetic, charismatic person. You can be a guy or gal who stands in the room and says, hey, guess what? I actually just was taught in this very room. This is where Brandon Sakbun went from a 5'1" young man to a 6-foot Army Ranger, a 2-time graduate of Indiana University, community servant, all that started in our school corporation. That's why I love going in there. Yeah, there's negatives. There's a ton. Yeah. And the corporation needs help. Everyone knows it. But looking in the eyes of a child, knowing that they believe that they can be mayor one day.
That's right.
That's just that to me just gets me through the low times.
So you said 100%?
100% and then some.
And then some.
Yeah.
That's what I want to leave you guys with. Hey, that's some great food for our soul. I hear service, which is the message that we want to send always. That we're serving the community, that we're serving each other, and 100%. And then some. Again, such a pleasure, Brandon. Pleasure interviewing you today. Pleasure cooking with him. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for having me so much.
I'm so glad.
And again, as I mentioned earlier, food is one of those universal languages that bring people together.
Yes.
So it was a pleasure to be brought together closer with you this evening. I know this dish is going to be 10 out of 10. Folks, check the comments for the entire ingredient list. Wink, wink, stump, stump. But try it at home, and please give her a like, give her a follow. And thank you so much for having me.
And if you can, feed somebody today.